Welcome back to Crane's Customs. Today I'm going to tell you the story of how I got the best wildlife photos that I have ever taken. But before we get to that, to all my fishing content viewers, it is currently November, and as you can see, it is raining. Which means that steelhead season is finally upon us. So stay tuned for season 3 of the search for steel. I truly believe that this is going to be the year where we make it happen. And anyways, back to the content. Now, I have a bit of a confession to make. Normally, when I go out, I wear a chest-mounted GoPro and I film myself with another camera, but I did none of that on this day, so I'm going to have to tell this story verbally and through the pictures I took. As some of you may know, I am not a very good photographer. In fact, I pretty much only shoot video. In truth, I love the format of video, which is probably obvious considering the type of content I make for this channel. However, I also appreciate the beauty of a still image. Unfortunately, I suck at photography, so I've never really been happy with any of the photos that I've taken. My brother, on the other hand, happens to be an incredible photographer, so in an effort to learn how to not suck at taking pictures, I asked him to join me on a overcast Northern California morning to search for some bald eagles at the mouth of our home river. We hiked our way down to the beach and began our search. The mouth of the river was swarming with gulls, pelicans, crows, vultures, cormorants, all of which was making it very hard to pick out individual birds. After about half an hour of searching, I finally moved my eyes up to the tree line above the river, where I saw a pair of fanned-out wings where a bird had just landed in a tree. I pointed my camera up at the branch, and there they were. 2 bald eagles sitting together observing the chaos below. My brother and I sat on the beach for about an hour just observing them, unable to get close enough for a clear shot. Finally, though, after we got some intel from a man far more knowledgeable than us, we decided to move away from the eagles in the hopes that they would come down to the beach. Once we felt we'd moved far enough away, we looked back at the perch to find that the eagles were gone. Luckily, I noticed a large bird flying right over us, and after a little bit of confusion with a vulture, we were able to identify that it was indeed an eagle. Unfortunately, it kept going for what seemed like a mile before finally landing on a cliff above the surf right next to its partner. So we packed up and made our way towards their private island in the sky, stalking our way through the brush and sneaking up until we could see them clearly with our naked eyes. Finally, we laid down and took our shots. Despite my inexperience, even I was able to get some pretty good shots out of it. As the eagles flew away, my brother and I sat there on the edge of the world, speechless at what we had just experienced. Breath heavy and shaking, we celebrated our victory and headed back towards home. But, as if to give us a cherry on top of our day, one of the eagles landed on a tree in perfect view of the road. So, we parked, stepped out, and took our final photos. Or at least what would have been our final photos if this little hummingbird hadn't whizzed right by my head and started feeding on the flowers no more than 10 feet in front of me. At last, we drove home victorious, completely blown away by what we had just experienced. If you want to see what a real photographer was able to make of this whole experience, go and check out my brother's Instagram at gcrane_shoots. There will be a link below in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this somewhat experimental video. Let me know if you would want me to incorporate more stills into my wildlife videos in the comments below. And with that, I'll see you next time.